All right, I understand that you all lead. You've got people that you're leading. How many of you does this drive you nuts, accountability? I mean, your clients, your agents, people around you, they can tell when you're not holding yourself accountable for your own development. Therefore, I am going to give you 3 accountability challenges I promise you are going to be able to use when we depart ways. Sound like a plan? And I'll give you more a little later on today. The challenge with this idea of feedback, practice, and accountability is ourselves. I've learned early in my career that the only way I can prove to individuals how much influence they have is to give them the opportunity to see and hear through the eyes and ears of their listeners. A couple of months ago, I live in Chicago, and I was working with a CEO, and he calls me up and he says, Stacey, I think I need your help. I only get a chance to interact with my entire company twice a year. I want to make sure that I come across credible and trustworthy. Can you help me? The first thing I did is I said, I need to videotape you. When we sit down to watch his video playback, we're maybe 10 seconds into the playback, and he looks at me and he says, I bet you wonder how I ever became a CEO. And it's one of those awkward moments, folks, where you're wondering, do I tell him I agree with that, or just let that go? When I asked him what's sitting behind that comment, he says to me, when I watch the playback, I just realized I never get feedback. My executive team is always telling me how great I am, and I've never seen myself on a playback. Let's test this out. How many of you, let's go with the last 2 months. How many of you in the last 2 months, you have been recorded? For professional reasons, though. Did you notice how half the hands went down? What are you guys doing out there? Now, all kidding aside, if you're not experiencing yourself through how others around you experience you, could you be determining your level of influence, your reputation, on how you feel rather than on fact?